Right then, so I think it's safe to say that UFC 306 at the Sphere is a pretty underwhelming card for a Riyadh season UFC card, which has been really, hyped up massively to be one of the UFC's biggest ever events. Partnering with Riyadh season, and now it's a shambles card in my opinion. There's not enough star power on the card. It's simple as that. Yes, there is Sean O'Malley on the card in the main event, but yeah, and yes, O'Malley does have star power, but I don't think he's got the star power that quite a few people think that he has got. He has got star power, but it's not as high as what people think it is. And then, you've got a women's MMA fight on here. And let's be real, Grassham and Shevchenko have been in two great fights. But, on this Riyadh season card, in boxing, we haven't seen any women's boxing fights in Riyadh season. Yes, we're seeing one coming up on the Bivol Tabiev card, but still, so far, we haven't seen one. I just feel like that's something that gets in the way of the card when there's so many more better fights that you could have had on this card. So, yeah, I'm going to say what this UFC 306 card should be. And, there's the odd fight, which I'm going to get to first. That is on UFC 307, which I think should have been put onto this card instead. And that is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Buckley. That should be on this card, in my opinion. It really should be on this card. You've got Wonderboy who is quite a big name, as we know, and he's just got that really good, entertaining style. And I don't know why he's not on this card. I think it makes more sense to have someone like Wonderboy, who has got some name value and has got that good, entertaining style to have on a card like this, in my opinion. So, in my opinion, Thompson should have been put on this card instead of on Pereira versus Roundtree instead. It should be on this one. Should be on UFC 306. And I think it'll be a banger fight to really kick off the show, possibly. It's unfortunate it's not on this card, but this is a fight that should 100% be on this card. And I don't know why it's not. It makes no sense why this isn't happening on this card, in my opinion. Like the money would be massive for this card as well, I'm sure. I don't get it. I don't get why that they couldn't just push this forward a month earlier and make this one happen on this card instead. But yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, this is a fight that should be on this card. Absolute class fight. Next up, I have got Jose Aldo versus Henry Cejudo. Should be on this card. Again, I think Aldo's on UFC 307 or UFC 308, I think, against Batista. But again, I think we should be putting Aldo up against bigger names, in my opinion. Tougher names. Yes, Cejudo's lost his last two. But Aldo was losing a few days, just coming off a win. So, it's make this fight. I still think this fight makes sense. It has that excitement there. Everyone likes watching Jose Aldo. And even though Cejudo is cringe, he is, he can be quite loud at the press conferences to try and hype up a fight. So, yeah, and, look, two veterans of the sport as well, Aldo and Cejudo. This should be a fight that's happening, in my opinion. Oh, and it's a fight that should be on a card like a Riyadh season card as well for the UFC. This is a fight to make. I don't know why the UFC are putting Aldo up against Batista when you can still put him up against some of those bigger names. He's coming off a win now. And yes, I do think it's also a fight that makes sense for Cejudo still, though. Both guys coming towards the end of their careers. Why not make this fight and stick it on a big card like this instead of making Aldo fight Batista? Aldo's proven himself enough anyway. So make this fight. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a real shame that this fight is not on this card because this card had so much potential to be fantastic. But yeah. Okay, next up we have got Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. Obviously, it's already on this card in the feature fight. I think it's a class fight, of course. Obviously, it was meant to happen earlier on in the year, but obviously Ortega got ill, which was unfortunate. But still, though, I think I think that this is a class fight, and it's really one that I want to see. It's a really good, exciting fight, in my opinion. Diego Lopez versus Ortega. It's on this card, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that this fight definitely deserves its place on this card. So yeah, I have no complaints. No complaints about this one at all. Happy that this one's on this card. So yeah, let's go with that one. I'm really hyped for this one. I think possibly we got a potential fight of the year with this fight. I really do. I really do think that this could be a fantastic fight. And I'm really glad it's happening on this card. I mean, as we know, they're not exactly the biggest names to put on the card. But at the end of the day, the hardcores know them well, and the hardcores know that we're going to see a bloody fantastic fight here. That's the thing. So, yeah. Good, solid fight to have on this card. Okay, next up, I've got Colby Covington versus Jack Della Maddalena. Look, people will be like, that makes sense to put Covington. It does make sense to put someone like Covington on this card, because Colby Covington can help sell pay-per-views. He's a big name. And, people will be like, he's only a main event star. No, he can have this co-main event. And, he's not taking that Ian Gary fight. Don't know why. But yeah, if not, fight JDM. Fight JDM instead. I think this is a good stylistic matchup overall. And Covington's got that name value as well. Covington in a co-main event and O'Malley in a main event, it sells itself, in my opinion. It really does. Colby Covington in a co-main event against another worthy contender, which is JDM. And O'Malley Merab in the main event. It makes all the sense in the world. So I'm still sticking with that as the main event. But yeah, Covington versus JDM, it's something that we must see just in general as well. But it would have made sense to have someone like Colby on this card. It really would have, against someone like JDM, who we know is a good, entertaining fighter overall as well. So, yeah, I mean, Covington's not really entertaining to watch, if we're being real, but he can sell fights and he's a big name. So, people want to watch Colby. That's the thing. People want to watch Colby because he's a big name. He can sell a fight. Why not put him on? I don't get why not put him on this UFC 306 card for Riatis. I don't know why. But it would have made a lot of sense to have Covington on this card, because he's a big name, and a card like UFC 306, Riyadh Season at the Sphere, needs that name value on it, and Colby's got that. So it makes no sense why someone like him is not on this card. And a fight with JDM is one that I really want to see as well for Colby. That's the thing. So yeah, I feel like I'm gutted that someone like Colby's not on the card. But yeah, it's what it is. Then obviously, yeah, already ruined it. We got O'Malley Merab as the main event. Yeah, perfect fight overall, of course, in the bantamweight division. And again, O'Malley is someone who can main event a pay-per-view. He's got that name value, of course. Not as big of a star of what people think, but he is a star. Let's be real, and he's only going to be building his name up more. And I think he should beat Merab. He is the underdog, but I think, I will be backing O'Malley to win this one. So, and yeah, I feel like we could eventually see a fairly all right Merab fight, because O'Malley's just got that great entertaining style. So yeah, anyway, that is what I think the card should be. But yeah, it's just so disappointing, isn't it? Really, like, yes, O'Malley Merab and Ortega versus Lopez is good, and I guess Grasso Shevchenko is all right. But at the end of the day, though, I don't really want a women's MMA fight on this card. I just don't. That's the thing. You don't see on these boxing Riyadh season card. Why are we seeing it? Why are we seeing it here? That's the thing. But yeah, or at least just have like a better other 2 fights on the main card anyway. That's the thing. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace.